You better not forget the Easter set.
Hey, what is up YouTube? It is Hypnos back here again with another Mad Murderer 2 video. Today we aren't necessarily going to be playing the Mad Murderer, but we're going to be creating a tier list for every UID weapon on the Mad Murderer. So as you can see, I am on the tier maker website right now, and I have a picture of every single UID which I pulled from the in-game item library. But I'm going to be ranking every single one of these UIDs from A tier to mid tier and all the way down to hot trash tier. I want y'all to keep in mind the way I'm going to be ranking these weapons is going to be mostly opinionated, but factors such as demand, rarity, and what these weapons get in trades will also play a part in how I rank these weapons. So first things first, I would like to start ranking the craftable UIDs. So that would be the UIDs that are obtainable by collecting knife numbers. So let's see. Let's start off by ranking Crescendo. So Crescendo, it's a really nice knife. It's very low in circulation. Not many people have it, and it's a really nice looking knife. This is a Roblox created model, and it's popularly used in many other murder games, but it's really nice. Overall, the effect is nice, and a lot of people want this weapon. My personal opinion, just because I've seen this weapon used in many different murder games, I find it to be a little bit overrated, but I'm going to be putting it in the mid tier. Okay, so next weapon. Let's go with Proto. So I've had Proto before. It's not that bad looking of a UID. A lot of people trash on it. A lot of people really love it and glaze it, but personally, I find it to just be an off-brand overseer. It's honestly not the best in my opinion. It hasn't gotten the best trades over the years. In recent times, it's actually pulled decent trades, but yeah, it's not really the best weapon in the game, nor the best looking weapon. So I'm gonna put this in C tier, just a tad below mid tier. Now let's see. Let's go with Shooting Star. I want to rank this. So I've never had Shooting Star before. I've known people who have owned it, but I've never been able to get my hands on it. It's a really good looking gun. I really like this gun. It goes really well with Tempest. Honestly, I want to put this in A tier. It's really nice. I've never owned this, but I really would like to own this weapon. I'm going to slap this in A tier right now. Alright, now let's look at our other weapons. Let's rank Snow Day. This one's kind of easy to rank. A lot of people do good trades for it. I already have this, but I kind of like it, but the texture is kind of bad. It's trash. I'm gonna put it in hot trash tier. I really don't like this gun. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't like this gun. Next weapon, let's do Toxic. No explanation. All right, I'll give an explanation. Toxic is amazing. It's a beautiful looking knife. It's gotten amazing trades. It's valued very highly. It's very rare, very hard to get. You'll be lucky if you even pull this out of a knife craft. Automatic S tier. No explanation needed. All right, let's do Inferno. Okay, so I used to not really like Inferno because I've seen this in other games, and not only that, I'm not a big fan of the shape, but somebody let me actually try this weapon on once, and I actually like it. It's a really nice looking knife. The effect is superb. It's really nice. So I'm going to be putting this in A tier, right next to Shooting Star. Alright, now Black Ops. So I really like this gun. A lot of people like this gun, and a lot of people tend to overpay for this gun in trades. Now, what's the reason behind that? Well, for one, it's realistic. It looks like a real gun. What else can be said? It's probably one of the most realistic weapons in the Mad Murderer. And not only that, it also maintains neutral colors. So if you look at it closely, there's a little bit of black, white, and gray. And these neutral colors tend to match people's Roblox avatars better. But overall, this weapon just has really high demand, and I have no other choice but to put it in S tier. Okay, now let's rank Glacier. So I personally own this weapon. It's really nice. I really like the effect. I like the model they used to make this weapon. I like the guard on it. I like everything about it. And this is unbiased. I've always liked this weapon. I always like the looks of it. It's a craftable, but I rarely see it in game. I rarely see anybody having it, and I rarely see anybody trading it in. I think when I got it, I think I just got lucky, but a lot of people do want to trade for it, and it's a really nice knife to have, and I really don't plan on trading it ever, because I feel like if I do trade it now, I'm not going to get the chance to get it back again. So because of this, I'm going to put this in A tier right next to Inferno and Shooting Star. Alright, now let's rank Dragon Slayer. So I've owned about 1 million of these. I think after a while of having it, it just becomes kind of whatever. A lot of people really like it, but personally, to me it's whatever after owning a bunch of them. The look is really nice. Like when I first got it, I was obsessed with, the color contrast, the green and the purple, and the effect. I was in love with everything, but now that I've seen it every day, I'm kind of just over it. So I'm gonna put it in mid tier. Alright, so next weapon. Let's rank Tempest. Okay, so looks wise, I really like this. It has a lot of neutral colors. It works with a lot of outfits. It works really well with the Black Ops, but trade-wise, it doesn't really pull. It doesn't get a lot of value in trades. It's not really rare. It's a pretty common UID, and if you really wanted it, you could probably get it if you overpaid it with crappy weapons. But honestly, I wouldn't even put this in mid-tier. I'd put it more so in C tier. Sorry, Tempest. Alright, next UID. Let's see. Let's rank Overseer. Okay, so I really like Overseer. So there's a lot of mixed opinions about this weapon. In old value lists, Overseer's been ranked really high along with Toxic. But the thing is, Overseer is more common than Toxic. A lot of people have pulled more Overseers out of number crafts than they have pulled Toxics. And so right now, as of now, Toxic is more rare and of more value. At least to my knowledge. They probably pull the same, but Toxic is more rare. There's less in circulation. I personally have 3 Overseers, and it's not really like Dragon where you have a bunch of them and you feel like they're stuck in your inventory. Because with Dragon, it's a good weapon, but it's not really that rare. There's a lot out there. But with Overseer, it's actually a high valued weapon. It's really good to have, and it's really rare to have. And so just having them, it feels nice. I don't really plan on trading them just due to the rarity, unless it's for a trade involving Toxic. But I wouldn't say it's S tier, but I would say it's around between A tier and S tier. I'd say it's right in the middle, but I'm gonna put an A tier for this one. Alright, now let's rank Zeus. So yeah, I'm sorry, Zeus, you're hot trash. Not much to say. Everyone knows it, I know it, you know it. You are hot garbage, Mr. Zeus. Now Toros, or Torres, however you say it. Wow, I really like the mix of red and black in this weapon. There's nothing really wrong with this. It's a really good looking gun. I just got my hands on this on the OG Mad Murder 2 game, and I'm already in love with it. I wouldn't say it's S tier good, but it's really good. I'm gonna put it in A tier. Alright guys, let's move on to our event UIDs now. So event UIDs, they're slightly harder to value and rank solely because so many were purchased. And the reason for this is because, plain and simple, knife crafts are harder to obtain than just purchasing a UID weapon for rubies. So back in 2017, 2018-ish, Lolaris would release exclusive event UIDs that you could just purchase for rubies. You didn't really have to work for them. You could just purchase them. But now, in recent times, they've become very rare to have. And even though they have a high UID number range, it doesn't take away from the fact that they're still rare. And as a matter of fact, many of these event weapons aren't even around anymore. So the chances of you finding these weapons are very low because many of the people who bought these weapons don't play or don't even go on Roblox anymore. So the first event UID that I will be ranking will be Shamrock. So I have my own little nickname for this weapon. I call it Shit Rock because that's how shit it is. But nobody really likes this knife nor the gun it's paired with. I'll be getting into that in a second. Personally, I like the effect, I like the color scheme, but I think it could have gone a whole different route with the shape. I wouldn't say it's that bad because it actually has like decent detail in it, but it's pretty low, so I'm gonna give it C tier. All right, now let's do Lucky Charm. So Lucky Charm's alright. I really don't like the shape. Like Shamrock, I like the color scheme, but with the shape, they could have gone a whole different route. Honestly, I'm gonna put this in hot trash tier. All right, now let's do the black set. All right, so I own about 3 blacks and no Fridays. But dude, I love this knife. It goes with everything. Any outfit you can think of, it goes with. It's all black. There's no other colors in it. It was a Black Friday exclusive, so you can only get it for like a day or so. I don't even know. But I own about 3 of these on the original Mad Murderer, and yeah, this is an S tier. Definitely an S tier. Friday, that gets an S tier. These are super rare. You'll rarely come across these. Yeah, this is a really nice set to have. It's extremely rare. Now let's move on to a Halloween set. So that would be Soul Stealer and Ghost Blaster. I'm gonna start with Soul Stealer first. God, do I like this knife. I don't like this knife. I love this knife. I like the black and the red. I like how the blade is like, it's like a metallic black, so it's not like plain black. It's like a shiny kind of black, almost like a graphite kind of color. And then that's not really a red, it's more of like a scarlet, but it looks really nice with the black. I like the color scheme. I love the shape. It's not like a weird shape, it's actually symmetrical. I don't know, in my opinion, this is an S tier knife. Now, Ghost Blaster. Okay, so I recently got my hands on this on the OG Mad Murderer game, and boy, do I love this already. I like the way the chamber of the gun, I like the color, how it's like a cyan blue, and I like the way it glows out. I really like the ghastly effect on it. I'm debating between ranking it A tier and S tier, but I think I'm gonna have to go S tier. This is a really nice gun. I'm actually in love with this gun. And it also pairs really well with the black, in my personal opinion. Alright, now let's do the Christmas Blizzard set. Blizzard, okay, so I'm conflicted with this knife because I really like the effect and I really like the guard design. But I think if they had shaped the blade differently, I would like this weapon more. This is really hard. I think I'm gonna have to put this in C tier. Like, the blade just kills the whole thing. But I like how it glows. I like the color on it. In game, it looks really nice on your Roblox character, so it's alright, you know. But it's up there with Shamrock and Tempest and Proto. And then the gun it pairs with, Snowflake. It's better than Blizzard. It's the same gun model that they use for a good amount of the other UID guns, but the texture and the design is really nice. The effect is amazing. So I think we're gonna put Snowflake in mid tier. Now I want to rank the 2018 set. So I have this set in OG and the new Mad Murder game. Let's see. I wouldn't rank it S tier. The design is really nice. The effect is really nice, and these two weapons actually match really well. It gets really good trades. I think I got lucky just even finding people who were trading and selling this. But yeah, I really like the color scheme, and I really like the texture, the space texture that it has, or a firework. I don't know really what like the texture they use for the blade is, but it kind of reminds me of like a galaxy design. But the effect is fireworks because it's a New Year's event weapon. This is hard. I think I'm gonna have to put this in A tier. I'm also gonna have to put the gun in A tier too, because I can't really say it's S tier. It's not like, because look, the shape, it's kind of basic, to be honest. It's a basic knife shape. It doesn't have too much detail in it. Like in the guard, it's kind of just plain. But I think that the overall color scheme makes up for that shape. And honestly, the shape isn't even that bad. It's just a little bit more basic than some of the other shapes that we've seen on the Mad Murder, but it's a really good weapon set. Okay, so now let's rank the Christmas UID set. So I'm gonna start off with Candy Cane. So I really like this knife. I like the red and white in it. You rarely see this. It has a high number of owners, but they're not really around, so it's gonna be really hard to even obtain this knife. It's not like an S tier knife in my opinion. It's not really valued too high either on some of the value lists, but that really has nothing to do with this ranking. But I think I should put it in A tier just because it's not really like high up there. It doesn't really get too many trades, but it is a nice looking knife. The shape of it is really nice. I like the guard, and the handle also works really well with the blade. So that's definitely an A tier knife. And its gun little helper, I can't really say the same for it. In my personal opinion, it's kind of ugly looking. It's pretty underrated. I don't really see a lot of people owning this gun, but it's pretty mid. I'm gonna have to put it in mid tier if we're gonna be completely honest here. It's not really the fact that a lot of people don't have it. It's just the color scheme isn't really it. It's not to my liking in my personal opinion, so it's mid tier in my opinion. Now let's go to the fall set. So I really enjoy just looking at this set. I like the aura it has, the effect. That's one thing about this set a lot of people like. It's like the amber orangish kind of hue that it has. So the knife, I wouldn't say it's as good as the gun. So for the fall knife, I'm probably gonna put this in mid tier. And that's like solely because the shape, it's supposed to be a fall leaf, but in my opinion, it kind of just looks like a seed. I don't know. I'm not really a fan of the shape in general. So we're gonna put this in mid tier. And then the gun blunderbuss, I can't say the same for that. This is a really nice looking gun. A lot of people seek this gun more than the knife itself. In my opinion, the gun reminds me of an old school 1700s gun that they would use around the Revolutionary War period, but with an effect on top of it. And I think that's just one thing people really like about the fall set in general, is just that warm hue effect that the set emits. So for Blunderbuss, I'm gonna put that in A tier. Now let's rank the Valentine's Day set. Alright, so I used to see a lot of these. I used to see them pretty frequently, actually. I don't know what happened to them. Let's start off with the knife. I never really liked the knife, to be honest. I kind of always thought it was ugly. It honestly went out bad. I don't see anyone with this anymore. Where did it go? Like, who has Heartbreaker? Like, I don't know. I don't see this knife around anymore. Who has this? Like, genuinely. Like, I'm gonna put this in C tier, but who has this fucking knife? Okay, anyways. Valentine. It's honestly not as bad as the knife. It's the same model that they use for every other gun in this game, but I actually like the effect. It doesn't look like a sloppy mess. So I'm gonna have to put this mid tier. Now I'm just gonna move on to these regular exclusive purchasable UIDs. Let's do the Thor set. So a Thor and Thunder set, it's still purchasable in the original Mad Murderer 2 game, but the thing is, it's horrible. You can trade ruby weapons just to get this. It's really not that good. It's what, like 50, 25 value on the value list. It's a horrible weapon to have. There's about 1,300 of these. There's nothing good about it. So this is an automatic hot garbage, hot trash tier. So the reason why I'm putting these in hot trash is because they're practically worth nothing. You have to spend like $30 something to even get them in the UID shop on the original Mad Murderer. And Lolaris, he still makes money off of it somehow. People actually still buy these UIDs. But the thing is, nobody will trade the equivalent amount of rupees for this. They won't give you $30 worth of items for a Thor and a Thunder. Both sets actually costing around $60 in total. But you might as well just trade for it than spend money on it, because you won't get anything better. You'll just be stuck with these. People are known for not being able to trade off their Thors and Thunders, and they end up just being stuck with them forever for a very long time until they're actually able to upgrade into a better UID item. Now let's move on to Arch and Fiend. Let's start off with Arch. So I'm gonna be real, I've never really been a fan of this weapon, and that's just because of the shape. The shape just looks really awkward in my opinion. I'm not really a fan of it. I don't really like it. A lot of people like really want both the items in this set, but me personally, I don't like Arch. I don't like Archdevil. It's not even mid. It's a C tier weapon in my opinion. Now Fiend, okay, I really like Fiend. Fiend's a different story. Okay, it's not like Arch where the shape is awkward or ugly. The thing about Fiend is they actually like added a lot of good detail into this gun. They have like a dragon breathing fire around the chamber of it. I don't even know what that design is, but I think over a lot of these weapons in the game, Fiend is pretty high up there. I'm gonna have to put this in A tier, I'm not gonna lie. That's a pretty big gap for sets, but Fiend is much better than Arch in my opinion. Now I'm gonna rank the weapons that you will most likely never get in the Mad Murderer 2 in your lifetime. So we have, let's start off with Compensator. Okay, so I really like the shape of this knife. I like the shape, but I feel like they could have done a lot more with the color scheme. I think the color scheme is kind of mid, but the effect is actually amazing. Like, the effect is something we haven't seen in the Mad Murder 2 ever before. I don't know, like, what the design is or, like, how they did it, but it's totally different, but it's really cool. It's very unique. I'm gonna have to give this an S tier, if we're gonna be completely honest. No other weapon in this game has this kind of shape, has this much design, and also has this cool of an effect. Like, this is just superb. Now, M878, it's very rare, but if we're gonna be realistic, it's kind of basic. I mean, come on, it's literally just a stock knife with the word M878 on it in Roblox font. I feel like they could have done a lot more with it, but another thing I wanted to mention is the effect. I also think the effect is just kind of plain. I think if they would have, like, given it, like, a cool red effect or something, that would be different, but, I don't know, I just think the knife overall is pretty plain for something this rare. So, I'm gonna have to put this, I'm gonna put it in mid-tier. Okay, now finally we're going to be ranking the new UIDs that were just released by Towel and QSB in the new version of the Mad Murder 2. So, let's start off by ranking the crystal set. So, with the knife Emerald, if we're going to have my complete honest opinion, I like the color scheme. I like the darkish purple and the black and the Mountain Dew green, Baja Blast green to be specific. But I'm not really the biggest fan of the shape. I like the design on the guard and I like the effect, but it's the blade shape for me that's not really doing it, if I'm going to be completely honest. These new weapons, they don't necessarily have a value yet, but pretty soon they will once they rise in quantity. But value and demand will not be a factor for this ranking, so it'll solely be based on looks. And I will be ranking Emerald, honestly, I'm going to be ranking it around mid-tier, just because of the shape. Now for the gun Crystal, that's honestly a different story. I would rank this A-tier, just because I think the design works a little bit better. I'm just in general, I'm not a fan of like that arch shape where the blade sticks out more in the end. I like it when it's kind of slimmed out, but that's just my personal taste. Now let's rank Steampunk and Dawn. So Steampunk, I've seen this in other games, like I said in my last video on the summer update. I've seen this in multiple other murder games. It's really just in the same playing field as like Crescendo and other models created by Roblox, but in my opinion, I find this weapon to be kind of mid. I like the effect, and I do like this weapon, don't get me wrong, but the model is just, it's whatever. So I'm gonna put this in mid-tier. Okay, so now let's rank Dawn. So I really like this gun. It's gold and white. I really like the design. I think it would work a little bit better with Steampunk if Steampunk was slightly brighter in its design and had a little bit more gold in it. But overall, it's a good set in general. But Dawn itself, I really like its design. It's definitely an A-tier weapon, in my opinion. Now let's get to the Peacemaker and Paladin set. So, if we're going to be realistic, I love Peacemaker. Okay, so I believe this is a Roblox Immortal Sword model. They just sized it down a bit. I believe. I'm not too sure, but from my recollection, it is a Roblox model used for an Immortal Sword. But I think this is the best knife that has been released in the update so far. So I'm going to have to give this, I don't know, is it A tier or is it S tier? I'm stuck in the middle. But because it's fairly newer, it doesn't really have that much demand, and it doesn't really have that much value right now. I might have to just put it in A tier. But I'm stuck in the middle between S tier and A tier for Peacemaker. Now for Paladin, I'm not really a big fan of this gun if we're gonna be completely honest. It's not the best looking gun. It kind of reminds me of a royal themed Lucky Charm. I wouldn't say it's hot trash, but it's right in between mid and hot trash. So we're gonna put this in C tier. But if there is one thing I will say that I like about this gun, it's that neon effect in the chamber. I've mentioned this before in another video, but I really like that kind of design. And I would really like to see this same design in different weapons for the future updates to come in the new Mad Murder. Now finally, the Ruby Crystal UID crafts. So let's start off with Krampus. Okay, so if there's one thing I do like about this knife, it's the black effect, the black color, and the red glowing eyes in the guard. But the one thing I really don't like about this knife, it's the shape. Like I said before in this video, I'm not a big fan of that arch shape, which is the shape they use for this knife. And that's just personal opinion. But I wouldn't say it's bad, because it is a good looking knife, and it does work really well with many different guns in this game. But it's not really, I'm just not a fan of the shape. So I think I'm just gonna rank this mid tier. Now lastly, we have Mystic. Okay, so Mystic, I have mixed opinions on it, but the more I look at it closely, the more I start to like it. At first, I thought it was like kind of basic. I thought the design was kind of basic. They just put a bunch of rune patterns on it, but the detail is actually really nice. It, like with the textures like they put on it, it looks I don't know how to explain it, but it's like rocky. And I also like how the barrel's black and the handle is white. And I already mentioned how I'm kind of a fan of those neutral colors, so I think that looks really good on the gun itself. And another thing about it is the purple color they use. So that pinkish purple they use, it works really good with Dragon, and it also works good with 2018 set in my opinion. So for this ranking, I'm probably gonna have to put it in the A tier, because I'm not gonna lie, it's actually a good gun. Alright, and that's my Mad Murder 2 tier list. Thank you everyone for watching. Don't hate on me in the comments. And make sure you don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss out on more TMM2 videos. Thank you.
You forgot Jumpy though.